Welcome everyone. Welcome to Golf Cart Garage. I am Tim. I am part of the Gearheads on Demand service that we offer at Golf Cart Garage, where you can call and schedule. You can click the link in the description, and that will take you to the scheduling page where you can schedule an appointment to speak with me about your golf cart issues one-on-one. If you'd be interested in that, link is in the description. Got people in the room. Good. Lloyd Lou checking in from 65 degrees sunny California. Awesome. Awesome. I love this weather. It's actually hot today. It's like we started to get cool, kind of gave us a little teaser, and now it's back to hot again. Today it feels like. Kurt, what's up, Kurt? What's up, Gene Hansen? Gary, England, 65 and drizzling rain in northeast Indiana. Gary, I'm glad you're here because I think I missed your question last episode. My wife pointed it out to me after I'd signed off, and I went back and looked. I think you were asking me something about a gas EZGO. Sounds like some clutch issues for your question may have been in order, what you had said. You might need to get a stiffer clutch in the rear. If I remember right, your question had to do with losing torque on hills or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong there, because I'm going off of memory. But I did see your question, and I apologize for missing it last time. I had a lot of things scrolling up the screen, and it got off the screen, and I never went back to it. DMAX97, what's up, man? Welcome back. Kevin Fry, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Hey, all. What's up, Kevin? Mike Hollis, there's the first question for today. Let me check Facebook before I get to your question, Mike, just to make sure that we're doing all right over there. Looks like we're rolling on Facebook. No big deal. Everything looks good. Yep, looks good. Okay, Mike Hollis, 2016 Star Classic 48 that won't start out smoothly. It jumps and stalls and runs okay once I get it to accelerate. I hear clicking when I let off the accelerator. Mike, I don't know a lot about Star Classics, but if I was hearing that symptom from an EZGO, a Yamaha, or a club car, if I was hearing it for one of those golf carts, I would immediately be going to whatever potentiometer that car has, because if it jumps and stalls and runs and then eventually starts running okay, it sounds like to me, because that has something to do with clicking of the solenoid too, it sounds like to me that potentiometer could be sending an erratic signal and then backing off and stalling and then eventually getting worked out. Like a lot of people have told me before that their car was erratic acceleration, and if they hit the accelerator pedal over and over a bunch of times, that it would clear out. Well, you got to think about it. What are you doing when you do that? When you hit that accelerator a bunch of times, all you're doing is like you're twisting a potentiometer or a variable resistor inside there, so you may be cleaning the contacts a little bit, and so it could be something like that. You might ought to try that and see if that changes anything. Lloyd Lou says, what are your thoughts on the Curtis 600 controller for a 94 EZGO TXT? I only have good thoughts about that, Curtis. I only have good thoughts. Anytime somebody's going to put a big, huge controller on their golf cart, I have good thoughts about it. I think the one in my race car, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it is over 1200. So yeah, I have good thoughts about that. All right, Gary, I'm glad you showed up again. Glad you're not mad at me for missing your question last episode. Stephen Kuhn checking in from Pensacola, 74 and sunny, nice. Mike Irwin, what's up, Mike Irwin? Jeffrey, what's up in Pocono, Pennsylvania? Keith checking in. Thunder and lightning today, 75 degrees in Nashville. I don't know if I have any rain coming or not. I didn't look. I might. You're not too far from me, so I'll have to go check that out later. Like I said, it's hot. So if we start getting thunderstorms popping up now, hot weather, they may turn into something serious. But I didn't look, so I don't know. Let me run social media links. You can follow us on YouTube and Facebook, obviously. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. But you can also follow us on TikTok and Instagram. I'm running those links right now. Okay, since the garage is now open, we will get started with the regular questions. Question number one. Bruce Howell from 𝗂𝘁𝗍𝗔𝗆, Westfield, Wisconsin. Now that's nice. Question number 1 is from TP. Our golf cart 2016 48 slows down tremendously when going up small hills. I replaced all 6 batteries and replaced the solenoid. Batteries test good after charging both individually and in the battery pack. Any ideas would be greatly appreciated. Thanks. TP. Well, you never really told me there what kind of golf cart, because sometimes that can help, because some golf carts have notorious for certain ailments and some are less likely, you know. But just the general questions that I would have, is this a lifted golf cart? Is it lifted with taller tires? That would be a general question, because that's going to hurt you on hills. Does it have 4-passenger kit on it? And the kind, you know, the brand. What brand are we talking about there? And then maybe we can narrow it down. It sounds like you think you've eliminated the batteries, even though I always have to do that myself. But it sounds like you've eliminated the batteries because you changed them. But first questions would be about lifted, taller tires, and what kind of golf cart. Let's see here. See, I said it. I just said it just then. Let's see. Jeffrey said, I just emailed you a down-winterization list copy. I did not get them back from printer gas. All right, cool, Jeffrey. Thank you. I'll check that out. Rock Dog, what's up, man? Let me check Facebook here. Number 2. Uh-oh, that's not 2. This is number 2. I have an Icon cart that was flooded in a hurricane. I have replaced the batteries, controller, variable resistor, pedal, and motor brake, and have rebuilt motor with new bearings. I still have a dead cart. Is the motor bad? Any suggestions of what I should look for? I get this question a lot. Like, you know, every year somewhere in the U.S. that we end up with flooding somewhere. So there's always golf carts. There's always flood carts. That's what the title of this episode is flood cart. There's always flood carts floating around somewhere. So I get the question, can a flood cart be saved? And the answer is absolutely, it can be. But you've got to be ready. That's like, especially saltwater flood carts, like hurricane's going to be saltwater flooding. Excuse me. Saltwater and wiring harnesses don't play well together. So you could have a wiring harness issue. So you need to get ready to run a continuity test on almost every small wire in the wiring harness if you want to fix it. Jeffrey says he'll email me his electric list too. Okay, cool. There's some things that flood carts that you have to do also that a lot of people don't realize that you have to do. You're going to need to go so far as to take change the oil out of the rear end, because you don't know that you didn't get water in there. It would be smart to change the motor bearing. Like on the electric motor, take the electric motor out and change the motor bearing. There's one big bearing in there. It'd be smart to go ahead and do that, change the oil in the rear end, remove the brake hubs, and then re-grease the splines that the brake hubs go on. Blow out the brakes and make sure everything's not rusted or anything in there, because all of that stuff rusts really quick after they've been sitting in water for a long time if you don't do anything. Number 3. I purchased a refurbished Precedent. I found out the hard way the battery indicator light does not work. Can you suggest troubleshooting and testing steps, or how it is wired to batteries if I have to replace it? Excuse me. Okay, that depends on what year Precedent you're talking about, because 2014 and older, that battery light on the dash that went straight to the onboard computer. Okay, so that was wired through the onboard computer, which was monitoring your battery pack. That light on a 2014 and older is also a transmitter, believe it or not. That club car has a little device that can point at it, and they can get readings through that light on your battery pack. They can get readings about your battery pack voltage. They can get readings about how many energy units have been removed. They call them energy units, or how many times the battery pack has been discharged, how many times it's been charged, and general voltage readings too. It's pretty cool. But after 14, they did away with the onboard computer. So in that case, then if it's a battery light, then it's going to be hooked right to your battery. It's going to be hooked to full battery pack voltage, because that's how they work. And if it gets too low, it's going to blink on you or something like that. Number 4. (2016) EZGO TXT with a Rhox 7-inch twin A-arm. The ride is very bouncy. Is this normal for this type of suspension? If not, what could be done to smooth out the ride? The only thing you can do to smooth out a golf cart ride is going to be adjust air pressure, because the shocks are not really doing anything to smooth out the ride. The shocks are actually only there to like dampen a blow. Like if you were to hit something really hard, they're just there to dampen it. They're not holding your golf cart up. They're not holding the weight off of the ground. Your springs are. So if your cart has heavy duty springs on it, maybe you could consider going back to stock springs if you think it's too stiff. I'm not sure what you mean by smoothing out the ride. Some people claim their golf cart is too spongy, and some people claim that it's too stiff. So I'm not sure exactly which one you're saying that you don't like there. But other than that, the only thing you can really do to make any adjustments, once you've got the lift kit on and your suspension set up, is adjust air pressure in your tires. Big Mike, what's going on, man? Good afternoon. GCG fam, 68 and gloomy here in Indiana. Yep, Jeffrey, that's what I was saying. Just adjust tire pressure, tire PSI. Number 4. That was number 4, wasn't it? Yeah, that was number 4. So we're on number 5. Now, let me check Facebook before I go to number 5, just to make sure I don't leave anybody hanging over there like I did last time. I have an older club car that has worked for us for many years. Recently, it would go in reverse, but not forward. Batteries are new, except for 2. That's funny to me. Couple years old. Changed the 5 solenoids. I can hear the solenoids click, but will not go forward or reverse now. Can you help? Recently, it would go in reverse, but not forward. Batteries are new, except for 2. Okay. Well, on that 5 solenoid system, well, first you need to tell me what the battery voltage is on those 2 batteries that are not new, the ones, except for 2 part. I want to know what those are, because the way that cart goes in reverse, you have to understand that throws up a red flag, your symptom there, because I know how that cart goes in reverse. The way that cart does half-speed reverse is that reverse only runs off 3 batteries. So if it goes in reverse, but then you put it back in forward and it doesn't go forward, I'm going to be looking at those other 3 batteries. Like the 2, the except for 2 might be in that side of the pack. That's what I would be looking at. That's why I would be interested in that. Also, you need to check for normal operation in your solenoids on that system. Normal operation would be key on, cart in forward, touch the accelerator pedal slightly. You should hear 1 solenoid click, and there should be no movement in the cart. If you have movement after that one, on that one solenoid click, then that means your first solenoid is not working, because your first solenoid is just the master solenoid to turn on the system. It is not supposed to move. Your cart only moves when the second solenoid clicks. So you can do that a couple of different ways. You can put a voltmeter on the small post of the first solenoid, put the cart in, put the key on, cart in gear, voltmeter on the small post, touch the accelerator pedal, and when you hear a solenoid click, look at the voltmeter. You should see full battery pack voltage on that solenoid, and the car should not move. If that's the case, you're normal so far, but you got 4 more to go. Jeffrey says, what club car uses 3 batteries in reverse? Older 36-volt resistor club cars use 3 batteries in reverse. And there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of, well, in fact, there's newer. You could get a resistor 36-volt club car in as late as 2004. I used to have one. It was in excellent condition, but it's still a resistor club car. And I don't know how long they continued to make it, but I know they made one in 2004 because I had one. It was, wait, it might have been 3 or 4, something like that. Number 6 is where we're at on the regular questions. I'll talk to Kurt first. Kurt, Tim, on my Summit 2 charger, I noticed that when it reaches 100% charge, it continues to charge. I also noticed it goes into stage 4, but the only thing that rises is the amp hours and keeps on. Stage 4, I'd have to look at my sheet to see. But at one point, Kurt, it's supposed to shut off at one point, and then it's just going to monitor. It's going to monitor your voltage and watch them. Because when it goes into storage mode, it's actually not supposed to be putting anything in storage mode, and it watches your voltage in your battery pack, and once it decreases to a certain amount, which over time, it should take a long time before that happens, then it should come back on. Jeffrey says, I don't have many electric club cars by me. Yeah, that's that system, 36-volt resistor system in a club car. I know it's outdated, it's old-timey and crazy, but that's a pretty good system. It's a pretty not efficient. It's reliable. Let's just put it that way. It's a reliable system. That's why they had it for so long. That's why they kept using it for so long. And you realize that that system will actually run underwater. You can run that car, since there's no electronic controller, it's the resistors, that DC motor will run underwater too, I can promise you. It will run underwater. Now, is it going to rust and ruin itself afterwards? Probably so, if you don't take some drastic steps like what we were talking about. But a long time ago, the golf cart at the golf courses, when they would run, inevitably somebody runs a golf cart into one of the ponds. They used to go in there and put a rope to it and have somebody go dive and get in the car, turn the key on and drive it out while they're pulling the rope to help it get out, because it would run. It would still have power underwater. Now, did it get water in the rear end? Did it get water in the motor? Yeah. Did it probably mess up the batteries? Very likely, but they would go underwater. Okay, that was number 5. And here is number 6. Reliable underwater. Yeah, well, that would be an interesting YouTube video, actually, is for someone to get one of those and have a swimming pool or something to see how far that thing would actually roll underwater. A resistor golf cart that doesn't have an electronic speed controller. That would be interesting, because it's going to sink to the bottom. You know, it's going, so you could actually get in it if you had a flat surface. That would be a cool video. I bet that'd go viral. I should do that. Well, the Summit 2, Kurt, if everything is working correctly, it is designed to be left on. I'm not sure that you've hit the storage mode function yet. 100% is just what it is. It may have to sit there and monitor at 100% a little while before it decides everything is cool and then go into storage mode. Because it's designed for you to be able to plug it in and go away for the season, you know, for months or weeks at a time. That's how it's supposed to work. So if I was you, I'd leave it there and see if you can ever catch it in storage mode. Rich Eastman, with all the goofy stuff on the resistor carts, can a motor, controller, 𝗲𝘂𝗲𝗀𝗃, etc. be swapped in, even if you can no longer drive underwater? Yes, lots of people have done it, but you literally have to pull it down to the frame, everything out, pull everything out, because there's really nothing that you can use, and you have to pick which club car you want to go with. The frame is the same, but you have a couple of choices there. You could go from a resistor car to a series wound club car with a mechanical forward and reverse switch, or you could go all the way to a later model shunt wound car with a push button forward and reverse switch like an IQ, but you'd have to start with an IQ wiring harness. And the series cart, you'd have to start with a series cart wiring harness, 48-volt series cart, so the controller and everything would be plug and play. You're basically changing everything to change the year of the cart. The only thing that would be left in your year would be the frame, you know, but the frames are, you know, still the same. If you're talking about DSs, but you could get an IQ DS. You could take an old resistor club car and change it to an IQ system. I think just get everything for an IQ system, which would be anywhere from 2001 to 2004. You know, you could get a DS IQ wiring harness and start from there, just replacing everything with a DS IQ system. Have you ever seen snowmobile water racing? Interesting, an old Ski-Doo ran out of gas before sinking, something like 22 miles. I have seen that. Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos where the snowmobiles actually will run on the water. That is amazing. It's what's amazing to me is that somebody, you got to think, someone actually figured that out one day. Somebody on a dare said, I bet you I can skim across that water on this snowmobile. And they said, hold my beer and watch. And they did it. I wish I'd have been there. That would have been an epic day. Okay, number 6 is where I was at. Captain Jim, what's up, Captain Jim? Thank you for stopping by. Hello everyone, chilly at the beach. Sorry I'm late. Chilly at the beach. This one is from Mark L, number 6. My cart is a 94 EZGO. It works hard, being I'm a manager of a 900 site RV park here in Texas. I put the cart in reverse and it made a hard clunk sound. 94 EZGO. Okay, went in forward and all it did was spin. Reverse, same thing, spin. Had the motor taken to replace the first sprocket, but it was good. So I have been informed it needs a differential. First thought was crap. Can you please provide me with what I may need to get back to work with this cart? Okay, that would not have been my first thought. Considering I have a very, very powerful electric golf cart, an EZGO, and I've never popped anything inside the differential. I've popped other things. I've popped the motor coupler before, like what you decided. But the most common thing, which is something you didn't mention, is spinning a hub. I mean, that's the weakest part. It's called, you spin a hub. That's where your axles spin inside your brake hub on an EZGO, because they're both splined. The brake hub is splined and the axle is splined, and the brake hub is made out of less strong material than the axle is, because the axle is more expensive than the brake hub. So the brake hub is a softer compound, so it's supposed to brake first, you know, so before it twists the axle. So that's most likely what you did, especially if you can hear something spinning. I wouldn't go straight to the differential. as having a problem, I'd go straight to the hubs first, then the motor coupler, then the differential. Randy Rizzo, what's going on, Randy? Jeffrey says he used to do 3,000 miles in the wintertime. Jathan Marcelli, what's up, Jathan? I've talked to Jason a few times. How are you doing, sir, on Facebook? 2000-ish model EZGO series cart. Solenoid was clicking, but cart not moving. So I was told to test the throttle sensor with the multimeter. So I attached the multimeter to the black and white wire in the throttle box. When I pressed the accelerator, well, wait a minute. So, but after, okay, I put the wires, keep skipping. So I attached the multimeter to the black and white wire in the throttle box. When I pressed the accelerator pedal, the cart started moving. I put the wires back onto the sensor and the cart worked for a while. I drove it a few miles, but after sitting a while, it stops working again. I can attach the multimeter to the throttle sensor wires and it will stop working again. What in the world is going on? Okay, I'll tell you what I have seen, Jathan. What you're talking about is the ITS box on an EZGO. I have seen intermittent ITS box. They can, if you look at them, they look like they're a sealed unit. If you ever had it one completely removed, it looks like it's a sealed unit with epoxy and everything, like nothing can get in there. But I have seen more than one where there's a hairline crack right across that epoxy resin or whatever that is where they tried to seal it. And once it develops that hairline crack, it can get moisture and stuff in there. And they can become intermittent. They can start doing some weird things, including some of the things like what you're describing. That's if that little bitty micro switch is not giving you some intermittent continuity also. But while you're in there, check it 100 times. Put your voltmeter on a continuity test or your ohm meter on a continuity test from that micro switch. Disconnect the wires from the micro switch and then click that switch about 100 times and make sure it's every time it shows on your voltmeter that it's getting continuity and it never does any type of intermittent continuity, because that would cause your problem too, or that could cause your problem also. But I just want to let you know, I have seen intermittent ITSs on EZGOs. Plowboy 800, what's up, man? That's one of our past bag of swag winners right there. Plowboy 800, hello from southeast Wisconsin. Rainy week here so far. We need some rain here. Thank you for stopping by, Plowboy 800. Number 7 is from Charlie. Hey Tim, the gearhead, what can you tell me about Evolution brand golf carts? The only thing I can tell you about the Evolution brand golf carts is that they are growing in the United States. They have a distribution center in Florida. They got a distribution center in Texas. They have a corporate office in California. They have lithium carts. They're spending a lot of money on advertising, because I get Golf Cart Advisor, which is a dealer magazine, and every month they're taking out full page ads and even more than one page ad in this magazine. This is probably one of the #1 magazines for golf cart dealers. So they are definitely growing, but I do not have experience with the cart itself. So the only thing that I would say to somebody about that is ask questions. If you're thinking about getting one, just ask questions about service and after the sale. That's going to be the most important thing there, service after the sale. You can always find somebody that can work on an EZGO, Club Car, or Yamaha, but there's not going to be as many that can work on those. So ask how that's going to work when my golf cart breaks. What do I do? Make sure there's a good plan in place. Captain Jim says he got his, Tim, I got my 600 amp 𝗲𝘂𝗲𝗀, cool, and very heavy duty solenoid, cool. Now I need to start on it, cool. Do it, man. Let's see, Jathan says he changed out the entire ITS box and I'm having the same problem. What should I try next? Okay, if you changed it out, Jathan, and you're getting the same issue, then we need to move somewhere else in the cart. It's not going to be that area. I tell you what, let's assume that it's not a wiring issue, okay? I don't know if I've told you this before or not, Jathan. I've told a couple of customers this, and I've had some come back and say that I found it. You know, since it's a series wound cart, that means you have the mechanical forward and reverse switch. Next time it fails, don't get out the multimeter and go to the ITS anymore, because if you've already changed that out and you've got the same symptom, this is what I want you to do. Next time it fails, put pressure on your forward and reverse switch in funny directions, like back off a little bit, like if it's all the way in forward, grab your handle, back off a little bit and see if you ever feel the cart change, anything, because I have seen some intermittent problems happen because of those contacts in that mechanical forward and reverse switch there too. That's what I would be looking at next. These intermittent things are very, very hard to diagnose. You have to look for them. And in a series wound cart, since everything is mechanical, sometimes it's a little easier to find them in a series wound cart than it is in a shunt wound cart, because a lot of that's changed electronically, you know, by the controller. But in your case, it's a lot of mechanical stuff goes on to change polarity to the motor to make it go backwards and forwards. So check that the next time you're doing it if you haven't already. Okay. Jim says motor comes later. Cool. Yeah. Get the controller first. Get that over with. Get the foundation in there. Get the motor later. If you can't do it all at once, do it that way. You're not going to hurt a thing. Number 8 is where we're at on the regular questions. We're right on time today. This is from Curtis. I have an EZGO RXV with a Jakes lift kit, and the springs on the front shocks vibrate on the shock. To get rid of the noise, I have to put a piece of rubber between the spring and shock to quieten it down, but it falls out. What are my options? That's a new one on me there, but I understand what you're saying. The RXV has the coilovers, in the front, so you're getting some vibration up there. But I'm confused on why you would be getting vibration up there just because you put a Jakes lift kit on. Because I'm trying to think of, well, I don't know which Jakes lift kit you got. That's probably what it is. So I would experiment with the rubber thing too, some more, and maybe even go ahead and try to permanently mount some rubber up there if that was actually solving your issue with some kind of heavy-duty adhesive or something. Ricky Smith, hi Tim and everyone. What's up, Ricky? Thanks for coming by, man. Thanks for stopping in. Jathan says that yes, the intermittent stuff is way above his weekend warrior pay grade. Well, try what I said on that series cart. You may find that you might have a problem with that forward and reverse switch, Jathan. Lynn Scrapper, better late than never. What's up, Lynn, on Facebook? Better late than never. Cloudy, 50 degrees in Orange County, New York. Cool. Is that where Orange County Choppers was? Was in Orange County, New York? Or because I think there's an Orange County in California too. Is that where American Choppers was? I used to watch that all the time. Okay. Number 9. Can a 2013 EZGO RXV 48 volt system be retrofitted for lithium batteries? I don't see why not. I know I understand that an RXV has a controller that converts it to AC, the motor's AC, but lithium's on the DC side, so there's no reason why it could not be. You couldn't use lithium batteries in an RXV that I know of. The lithium companies are going to require you, or not require, they're going to recommend you use their own charger for warranty purposes, their specific charger for their lithium batteries. But yeah, that's not a problem at all. Sure, you can do that. Ricky says New York. Jeffrey says California. See, that was what I was asking. I can't remember. Okay, Lynn says, yeah, it was about 4 miles from him, so it was in New York. That's where Orange County Choppers. It's still there, isn't it, Lynn? Isn't the building, the big Orange County Choppers building, is still there? Is it in business? I used to stay up with that to see what was going on with those guys, but I lost track of it. Yeah, Ricky says Orange County Choppers is in New York. Yeah, see, Lynn is in New York over on Facebook, Ricky. That's what he's telling me. He said it was just right down the road from him, 4 miles away from it in New York, Orange County, New York. Jeffrey says alignment not torqued properly on the shake on number 8. Yeah, see, sometimes after a lift kit, you have to, but you always need to align. I don't know if I've stressed that enough. People think you just bolt on a lift kit and you can just go. Well, the tolerances might not be perfect on a lift, even some of the most expensive lift kits. So it's always a good idea to check your alignment anytime you put a lift kit on a golf cart. Lori Welch. What's up, Lori Welch? How are you? Thank you for stopping by with your question. You're welcome to come back anytime, Lori. Also, we come here every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 noon Central Time. So if you have a question and you can't schedule a call with me, if my schedule is booked out too far, catch me here, just like you've done today. Excellent. 1999 EZGO TXT 36 volt golf cart that every so often just won't run when you push the pedal. I've changed the solenoid and the batteries are only a year old and test 37 volt. Loses all power. Thoughts? 1999. Okay, tell me where your forward and reverse switch is on that 1999. Well, no, don't tell me that because it could still be in the same place if it's a DCS. Does your 1999 have a run tow switch under the seat on the controller cover? Does it have a tow maintenance lever on the cover on the controller? There's on this right here on your cart. Is there a run tow switch right there on this controller cover on your cart and on your 1999? David Shelley, sunny Florida Keys. Thank you for your suggestion. You're quite welcome, David. I don't remember what I suggested, but I don't know if I told you or not. But you know I got married in the Florida Keys. That's where I got married. That's where it all started going downhill for me. Just kidding. Larry Consley. Sorry I'm late. What's up, Larry Consley? I probably shouldn't have said that. If my wife is watching, I'm probably in trouble now. Okay, number 10. This is the last scheduled question. This is from Quinn. My cart has 8 6-volt batteries. Okay, your cart has 8 6-volt batteries, but they only hold a charge for 1 hour of use. The batteries are 5 years old. How can I check to see which battery or batteries might be bad. You have 8 6-volt batteries, so that comprises a 48-volt system. So you've got a lot of 6 volts in there. So you definitely, and they're 5 years old. So it would be very likely that it's time for a battery change. But what you can do, what did you say that it's actually doing? Oh, 1 hour of use. Okay, so it fails on you at about 1 hour. Well, you need to hook a voltmeter to each battery. You're going to have to hook it you're going to have to do this 8 times. Hook a voltmeter to one of your 6-volt batteries using some alligator clip leads or whatever kind of leads you got to get to extend your leads off of your handheld voltmeter. You know, get you a little handheld voltmeter like this from Harbor Freight and get you some lead extensions so they can be longer, so you can hook those to one battery, just one, and then get in the cart and drive it, and then drive it till it fails, and then watch the volts on that battery, and on that 6-volt battery, and see how far they're dropping down when the car fails. Do that test 8 times, and I guarantee you'll find one of them that's dropping down way further than the others, because a 48-volt car has to have all of those batteries working. So that's the way you can spot a bad battery, is you're going to have to repeatedly make it fail with your voltmeter on different batteries. Yeah, that's the load test that you can do yourself, kind of a simulated load test. If you wanted to go to a golf cart shop, they have a machine like I do. I have a big load tester machine. I'm gonna bring that out one day and show. Because I've talked about it before, but I don't know if I've ever shown it or not, what a golf cart discharge tester machine actually is that they have at a golf cart shop. It's just a big load tester, and it load tests the entire 48-volt pack at once. And while that's going on, if you know what you're doing with a handheld voltmeter, you can go and monitor, you can go check each battery, and you can spot a bad battery while the test is running, while the thing has got the load on the car. It's a very, very accurate way of giving you an idea of how good your battery pack is as a whole. But you already said you're over 5 years. You've already passed the life expectancy, basically. So it's very likely that you're going to need a new battery pack. That is true, Randy. Yes. I have a lot of customers that are confused on that, and I take a lot of things for granted, so I'm glad you point that out. A lot of people are under the impression that you can't take individual battery readings with them all connected. That's absolutely not true. You can take individual battery readings without disconnecting any wires. And the reason that is because your batteries are hooked in series. If they were hooked in parallel, that's not the case, but they're hooked in series, negative, positive, negative, positive. In that electrical circuit, you can take individual battery readings with a voltmeter, as long as you put one of your voltmeter leads on positive and one of them on negative, and you're only going to be getting a reading off of that battery. You're not getting a reading off any of your other batteries. You can take individual ones without disconnecting anything. Let's see. Rich Eastman, yeah, can you give some live demos and burnouts? I might have a video of a burnout I'll share. I don't want to do asphalt burnouts. I didn't put line lock. You know how race cars can put line lock on their brakes if they got front brakes. First of all, mine doesn't have front brakes. But if I did, I don't think I'd want to do asphalt burnouts, because I would be, you know, how we were talking about popping something in the differential earlier. EZGO differential is not the strongest thing in the world, so it's very possible if you put too much power to it and try to do asphalt burnouts, you could do something. But the first thing is the hubs. I've got different kind of hubs on mine that are a little stronger. Second thing is I have seen twisted axles, and then internal motor coupler, twisted input shaft. So lots of things can go wrong if you get too much power on asphalt. Greg Elliott, Kirk, Tim might wake up with painted nails like Dinah. Yep, Randy, you can check individual battery readings without disconnecting any wires. Oh, my wife is on Facebook, said that I am definitely in trouble. Lynn says the building is down the road. It's a big building, no longer in business. Last I knew, Junior and Mike's still in the area, but I thought Senior went to Florida, but I heard yesterday he's back in New York. Yeah, I was keeping track of him for a while there. but I lost track when they finally just quit doing shows and finally just quit getting back together and reuniting. And but man, I used to watch that show all the time. Rich says, if you don't break something, you're not making enough power. Well, that is true. Lockouts, like you said, start breaking. Yep, they start breaking stuff. Yeah, I had front brakes on it at one time, but I did not like how they felt. Believe it or not, I didn't like how they felt at the end of the track, like when I go through the lights of the 8th mile and I had to touch the brakes. That's when I didn't like them. When I had to touch them at speed, I didn't like having front brakes. Didn't work. I had the Jake's hydraulic front disc brakes on there, so I removed them and switched and took out all my mechanical brakes off of the rear. Took all that out and replaced those with those EZGO. It used to be either be called EZGO or 𝗪𝗲𝗃, but the mechanical disc setup is on the rear, and now it's much better, much safer at the end of the track, going really fast. Captain Jim learns something new every Tuesday and Thursday. Well, thank you, Captain Jim. I appreciate that. I did number 10. Let me do this social media stuff again. Please like and subscribe on Facebook and YouTube, and if you like this content, please give a thumbs up. Everything helps. I appreciate it, I really do. So does Golf Cart Garage. I ran those social media links. If anybody would like to buy a Golf Cart Garage hat, you're welcome to. There's some hot links in the description that take you right to them. Bing! Right there. Take you right to them. Pick your color, take you right to the hat. We do give away hats here occasionally. We got one coming up. Don't know exactly when it's going to be. It very well may be next week, but when I know for sure, I will let you know so everybody can come back and be sure and get entered in the contest for the bag of swag. All right. Sucker brakes them loose in highway. David Shelley, on the 𝗫𝘃𝗃 controller, is there a light that comes on when it powers on? I think so, David. Isn't there a light? Who has an 𝗫𝘃𝗃 controller? I believe there's a light when it gets powered on, isn't there? I mean, Alltrax has a light, so I think the 𝗫𝘃𝗃 has a light too. Okay, I don't have any Let's See pictures, by the way, so I don't have any golf cart pictures. So anybody that's got any cool projects going on, golf cart related or something to do with a golf cart, cool fabrication that you did yourself, you want to just show off your cart, send them to me. Send them to me at Golf Cart Garage. You can send them to Facebook. You can send them to this, get the contact information here. You can send them to this contact info. There's an email address right there. You can send them to me directly. That's 00timfreeman@gmail.com. Oh man. We'll do a Let's See segment here right now. Let's see Dino. Where are you going, Big? Come here. You sit. Sit. There he is. There's the boy. There's the big man. I forgot Dino was even with me today. Yeah, we're going to give one away coming up soon, Jeffrey. We're going to give them away coming up soon. All right, I want to thank everybody for showing up. People on Facebook too. Lynn Scrapper, appreciate you stopping by. Jathan. Catherine O'Brien Freeman, got me in trouble. Oh man, Dino's awesome. He is happy. He's a good boy. Okay, no, the coupon. Run this coupon, in case anybody didn't realize it. We do have a coupon that you can use. You can get 5% off anything you order at 𝗏𝗃𝗲garage.com at checkout if you use coupon code TIM14. TIM14. This expires on October the 6th, so you got quite a while on this one. I'll be getting another one though, but this is the one that's active right now, TIM14. So you can go to 𝗏𝗃𝗲garage.com and get 5% off. That's a pretty big deal when you're talking about something expensive. If you decided you wanted to go lithium, I mean, that's quite a bit off of lithium. Thank you, my hour break for the day. Well, thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate you showing up, man. Appreciate everybody for showing up. Had a good day today. Had quite a few people, had quite a few questions. That's awesome. I will let you know soon. Maybe, let's see, today's Thursday. I'll be back Tuesday. We'll be back Tuesday with a whole nother set of questions, and we'll do this again. I don't think we're going to give it away. I got to check with my wife, see if she still, claims me for what I said about going downhill after getting married, and see if she can help me with the hat giveaways. So I have to see which day she's free. But it might be next week. I'll have to look at the dates too. All right, this was actually Thursday the 28th, episode 155. Thank everybody for coming. I appreciate it. I will see everybody on Tuesday. The garage is now closed.